Abby and Kat were born in 1997 and became best friends when they were 6. Grew up together and started a band and bonded over music ever since. 20 years later, they are all grown up and spend their free time analyzing lyrics. Now here they are talking all about their Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Taylor, if you're listening, we love you.
Welcome to Swiftlore Podcast, where we dive in lyrics and lore of our Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift.
Absolutely, that's why we are here.
I'm Kat.
I'm Abby.
And Abby is sick.
I'm not in the room.
Recording from separate places.
I know, and I really hate to do it because for a variety of reasons, but I have been sick all week. I have had what the kids may call a no good, terrible, very bad week. Actually, no kids would call that. That was popular when I was a kid, but not.
I mean, I feel like they made a movie about it like not that long ago.
I think we're old.
Well, yeah, but like the movie came out when we were like already adults, so kids would have seen it.
Yeah. So I've had a really bad week, which Kat knows all about, and I was going to vent about it here so that you guys could also just like empathize with the fact that I've had a really bad week, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be so strong and brave, and I will just say that I've been sick all week with a cold, which is like really annoying.
Yeah.
Because my roommate has COVID or had COVID. And so I was really concerned about getting it. And so I've been staying isolated, but I don't have COVID. I just have a cold.
It's like you got like empathy sickness. Like you felt bad that she was sick. You're like, you're not alone. I mean, in the COVID, yes, but in the sickness, no. You're down with the sickness.
Yeah, exactly. It means I don't have to quarantine, but that I'm just mildly annoyed and like coughing a little bit, sniffling a little bit, just like that kind of thing. And I didn't want to get Kat sick, so I am home, is what I
really
mean to
don't wanna
say.
be sick.
I would never do that to you.
And that's why we're here and separate here. But Abby's kind of here in spirit because I misprinted the Valentines for our Cozy Cats and Kittens fundraiser person. So one of them it was like I printed out 6 on the same piece of paper and like 2 of them got messed up. So I just reprinted all of them. But this is the one of Abby. If you're watching the video, it says, "I'd listen to Stay, Stay, Stay for you." And it's a very great picture of Abby wearing sunglasses that night we went out.
It's me dressed as Steve Harrington.
It's amazing. It's everything. And it's on the set now. So if you're watching this today, it won't be visible, but maybe we'll put it somewhere fun for next time.
I'm starting to really freak out that we're going to be seeing Joe in not that long.
That is like wild. That's like a month and a half away. That's crazy.
I know. And we see Stranger Things on Broadway at the end of this month, and Yosebop, which is what we've termed, you only see Sadie Sink on Broadway once probably. We've called it Yosebop, which is one of my favorite acronyms that Kat has ever created.
It was just a stroke of genius, you know?
It was. So Yosebop and Stranger Things prequel, and that's happening at the end of this month. And I guess we'll say it now while we're talking about the end of this month. We're also going to do a Track 5 March Madness style live stream for Patreon members. If you want to join, it'll be really great.
And it's going to be like, if anyone's watched the show, 4 weddings, where there's different categories that we're ranking them on. Like, it's not just like, oh, I like all you had to do was stay more than White Horse, so that wins. It'll be like some categories to rate it off of like 1 to 10, and everyone who's in the live stream will give the ratings, and then it'll move on from there. So it's not just because if we just did we like this one more than this one, boring. We're gonna make it really complicated and weird.
It's gonna be excellent.
It is.
I don't have any other front matter. Do you?
Oh, one thing. Lady Gaga's new album, there's a song on there that everyone thinks sounds like Hits Different, which it kind of does.
Is it the How Bad Do You Want Me one?
It's the one that everybody keeps matching up with Hits Different. I don't know which song it is. And I kind of see the hits different, but honestly, it sounds like this one Lady Gaga song off of either The Fame or The Fame Monster. To me, it sounds like Monster.
We haven't said at all what our theme is or what songs we're doing.
Oh, right. The theme is telling somebody what you want through song, even though you're not being upfront about it in real life. So I'm covering The Other Side of the Door.
I'm covering How You Get the Girl.
And as I was going through and doing my notes for The Other Side of the Door, I realized that there are actually like a ton of parallels to How You Get the Girl that we didn't know about before.
We didn't intend. I don't really know your song that well, to be quite honest.
Oh,
I
it's so good.
Is it a Fearless?
It is. It's a Fearless. It was a
Okay.
deluxe bonus track, and then it's on Taylor's
Okay.
version. It was a platinum edition bonus
So
track.
I heard it when we were on our writers retreat because you played all of Fearless on our last day. And that was me being like, oh, this is what this song sounds like.
Because we cover songs you haven't listened to them yet.
Yeah.
You really be like that. I feel like you should listen to the song soon because it's so good.
Okay.
You probably remember me
Nice.
freaking out to the outro at our writers retreat because I can't listen to this outro in a normal way.
I feel you. I feel like I need to go first because I don't
Okay.
have a lot to say.
Okay, fair. All right, you go first.
I can't hear the shimmer over Zoom.
Oh
So
wait,
we
let me
won't
see if I
have
can.
I can't hear the shimmer, but just know
Hmm.
that the shimmering is
I
happening.
don't know if the shimmer will record because
It will not. Just imagine that the shimmer's happening and we
imagine the
are
shimmer. We're
we're doing our little dancey dance. Okay. So, as I said, I don't have too much to say about this song. How You Get the Girl. I know that it's beloved by a lot of people. I'm going to say right now, please don't hate me. Not my favorite. It's not a bad song at all.
It's a bop,
There,
but it's a little bit forgettable.
yes, especially when you're looking at 1989, because that's banger after banger after banger can do no wrong. And then this song is like, yeah, that's another catchy song about going back to your ex.
I feel like it also, I said this to you when we were texting about it, but it definitely it feels like similar to All You Had to Do Was Stay, but All You Had to Do Was Stay is a track five. So like that's gonna be up there.
Right. So, How You Get the Girl is the 10th track on both 1989 and 1989 Taylor's version. It was written by Taylor, Max Martin, and Shellback, and it was produced by those three along with Christopher Rowe. Now,
Only for the Taylor's version or for both?
I don't know. Probably. But you know what I did Google is I tried to find the pronunciation of Christopher's last name and I couldn't find it. All I could find was that there's also a sci-fi and fantasy author and
Hmm.
he pronounces his name Christopher Rowe.
So we're going based off that. The row you know?
Row, row, row your boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
totally.
I mean, it's possible that they pronounce their names differently, and that's
Mhm.
fine. Anyway, and that was my little Google of the day. I didn't Google what I was actually supposed to Google,
But
but
sometimes you just gotta Google what the heart wants to Google. The heart
exactly.
Googles what it Googles.
Exactly. The hidden message in the liner notes was then one day he came back, which leads me to believe that he did this eventually. Like maybe she put out this song and then he was like, "Oh, is that what I have to do?" And then he came back.
Or he did some of these things and then she was like, "Oh, okay, you're back."
I'm going to write a song about it. Taylor described this track as a tutorial to a man on how to win his ex-girlfriend back 6 months after he ruined their relationship. That is exactly what this song is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Um, I mentioned last week the Taymojis. The Taymojis for this song popped off.
Oh,
So they had normal things that are mentioned in the song, like they had a bouquet of roses, there was a ghost, there was an infinity sign, but then there was also a heart that was like broken into pieces and then held back together with tape, which is kind of like
intense.
a sleigh Taymoji. It's a sleigh emoji.
It's a sleigh emoji.
And the caption for that one was good as new, which is
Ouch.
incorrect. So,
Oh, like cognitive dissonance.
yeah. So this brings me into how Abby makes every single song sad. Because the heart isn't back together again, it's just held together
Yeah.
temporarily.
I feel like her using that as a Taymoji is kind of like a acknowledgement of the fact that she was telling herself this lie and it wasn't true.
Yes. And also this was 1989. We know that this was an on again off again relationship through the
Yeah, we
whole
know that it
album.
ended with off again
Right.
at the end.
Also, the last one, I'm pretty sure that I'm missing something, and this made more sense in the context of the app. But it was just this really pretty pink box that said "click on me," and then the caption was just "box." I was like,
It probably was some surprise or something.
it had to be, and I'm like, there's no, I don't know, man. All right,
Who's to say?
And for my next little factoid, I once again have a prop.
A prop.
A prop.
I've got a spear staring me down. A Diet Coke.
A Diet Coke.
Incredible.
Now, why may I be holding a Diet Coke, you may ask?
I don't know.
It's because this song was used in a Diet Coke commercial. Featuring
So
Taylor
now
Swift.
you've become the Diet Coke commercial.
Exactly. Yeah. Except in the Diet Coke commercial, it's Taylor, and every time she takes a sip of Diet Coke, Olivia's there, the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Another cat shows up.
That's amazing.
So, and I
and you
would
took
do
a
the
sip of
bit.
Diet Coke and
I
Spear
did.
came into frame.
That's true. You know, I have 3 cats in my home right now. It would be really funny if they were coordinated enough where I could just like let one in every time I took a sip of Diet Coke. Just
That'd be an
imagine
amazing bit.
the thought is there. The other thing about Taylor Swift, Diet Coke, and cats all being in the same commercial, it's as if that was made for me. Like,
Yeah, that's so real.
if you put like I'm pretty sure that commercial just summoned me into existence. I like that
I don't
commercial
know who I
dropped
was before this commercial that I didn't know existed before today.
because
But
I
now I
love Diet
know.
Coke. I love Taylor Swift and I love cats. So
True.
here we go. I think this is right. It was the 6th song on the set list for the 1989 tour from May to December. And then I guess it got taken off. An acoustic version was performed as a surprise song on the Reputation tour. Wow, I never full legal government name Reputation. I always call it Rep.
Old
That's
government name. Well, I feel like Reputation Tour is like Rep Tour. I mean, I guess.
Reputation tour.
Repu Tour.
A rep-
No,
no.
something like that.
So on the Rep Stadium tour in Dublin on June 16th, 2018, it was performed on piano as a surprise song on the Eras Tour in Atlanta, Georgia on April 30th, 2023, and on February 23rd, 2024 in Sydney, Australia. It was also at the final show at New Orleans, mashed up with Clean.
Mm.
I know, weird, right? Well, I guess both involve rain.
Yeah.
And it was the first surprise song on the Eras Tour, May 19th, 2024 in Stockholm, Sweden. Part of a Max Martin medley, so it was mashed up with "Message in a Bottle" and "New Romantics," and then she dedicated the performance to Max, who was in the who was in the audience.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like a lot of the dates that you listed on the Eras tour, my song was played like right after it.
Really?
Like mine was also played in Atlanta. Mine was also played in Melbourne, Australia. And then it was played in Lisbon, Portugal on May 24th, which I feel like was right after Sweden.
Interesting.
So I don't know, which could mean nothing.
It no, it means everything.
Wait, do you know the which could mean nothing meme about Matt Damon and well, it's another actor and everyone's like thinks that they're a little bit gay for each other.
Oh, Ben?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, Ben Affleck.
Yes, 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 yes. And there's a picture of the two of them doing something and it was like seen together while on a break from Jennifer Lopez, which could mean nothing.
I haven't seen that meme, but I love that. I just found out, I didn't just found out, I knew about this, but I re-found out about it. Mindy Kaling,
Mhm.
she became successful after making a 2-woman show called Matt and Ben about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It was her and her friend Brenda that played
That's
Matt and Ben.
amazing.
And that's how she became who she is, Mindy Kaling. So I mentioned in some episode recently that Rob Sheffield put this song in his top 3 on 1989.
Bold
Um,
choice.
Bold choice, but also when I was on Reddit, people were like, this song is a perfect pop song. This song is amazing. I love the song. All the YouTube comments were praising it. Like, this song is everything. This song is the moment. It's a good song. I don't have anything against it. I'm just kind of confused.
This wouldn't be my top 3 on 1989 for sure.
Mm-mm. It's my bottom 3 on 1989.
Mm.
I know that that's a really hot take, but 1989 is like oops all bangers.
It is. Sorry, there was just a noise in the hall. That's why me and
Oh,
Spear both looked over.
it's Rob Sheffield.
It's Rob Sheffield.
He's
like,
looking
how
for
you get the
me.
girl is top 3, and I won't
Ah.
take no for an answer.
Rob Sheffield, come on the pod. Explain
Rob
your
Sheffield.
case.
Yeah, exactly. Make your case.
I don't feel terribly strongly. Like, I don't feel like I dislike this song, but there were some critics that said that it's somewhat problematic messaging to be like guys should continue to pursue women after the breakup is done. And then people said that it didn't really offer anything new on the album as a whole.
Hmm.
Which, like, I see those sides. It doesn't, like, again, I don't dislike this song, but I can see that perspective.
Yeah. I think my
Um,
song has some of that too, of the like pursuing after a girl says no because they actually want you to do more.
right, which I can be true. I'm not saying that's always wrong. However, I don't think that's a good general rule.
Yeah.
Like, don't just show up at your ex's door. That's not a one-stop shop. You're getting back together. I assure you.
Yeah. Oof.
One fun fact, another office fun fact. I mentioned Mindy Kaling. Now I'm going to talk about Miles McNutt because on the Office Ladies podcast, there was this critic named Miles
Yes,
McNutt.
and he rated all of the Office episodes. I think you talked
Yeah,
about this a couple weeks ago.
I did. And I was looking at Wikipedia, and Miles McNutt was one of the cited sources. And I said, say what? Now, let me read you an article that Miles McNutt wrote in 2020. It was called From Mine to Ours: Gendered Hierarchies of Authorship and the Limits of Taylor Swift's Paratextual Feminism.
Interesting. I would read that article.
I know. I
That sounds like
want
an
to read it.
academic article.
Right. Like Miles McNutt. I want to hear your thoughts. My guy. Anyway, the only personal connection I have is that this song, I always mash it up in my head with Say Don't Go.
Hmm. I see that. I see it.
Okay. Lyrics. So this song starts with something that I think is really cool. Taylor gives us a lesson on the vowels in the alphabet. So it goes O O O O O O O O O O O.
Hmm.
She forgets all the other vowels.
But you know what? O is an important one.
It's a very important one, and it was an intro class. Okay, you're not going to learn everything.
She's starting off small.
So, verse one: stand there like a ghost, shaken from the rain. Rain. She'll open up the door and say, "Are you insane, Ain?" His name is Ain.
I support this theory.
She loves the idea of a guy showing up on her doorstep. It's Betty
You know,
all over
it's
again.
Betty, it's Enchanted, it's the other side of the door. It's how
Yeah,
what Taylor wants is for a man to show up. She doesn't want to go out. She said, "Come to my place. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm Taylor Swift. My house is better."
I, exactly. I also love that her step by step tutorial involves and requires her insulting him.
She's like, "I need you to show up here. I need to do this big romantic gesture, and then I need you to roll with it when I say you're insane."
Exactly. That's what I need. Say, it's been a long 6 months, and you were too afraid to tell her what you want. Want. We have the time frame. It's been 6 months since they broke up. We
Mhm.
don't find out what happened until the end of the song.
Which also, same with mine.
Interesting. I wonder how long the relationship was, too. Like, did
Yeah.
they date for a month and then it's been 6 months?
Or was it like they dated for a while and this was like their biggest off again? I wonder if
Right.
this was like, wait, what if this, the reason that this and Clean Room mashed up is because this song was like 6 months into the final breakup where she's dreaming about like, what if he did come back though? And then Clean is like 10 months sober.
Oh,
What if?
yeah.
And maybe that's why she did a little mashy mash.
That makes sense. I'm also thinking about All Too Well, the 10-minute
Mhm.
version with After
Three
3 months in
months.
the grave. So 3 6 10. I also think it's funny how she's telling him what to do. So we don't know for sure that he was too afraid to tell her what he wanted. Like she's just saying, if you want to get me back, this is the excuse you're going to have to make.
Yeah, she's like fantasizing about what it would take to win her back.
Right. And also she wants him to admit that he's scared, which like, and not to generalize about men, but I feel like it's very uncomfortable for men to admit that they're scared.
Mhm.
And she's just like, "No, you got to do it though."
I want you to show up here. I want you to say, "I was a little scaredy cat." Say it. I was a little scaredy cat. And then we
Exactly.
kiss.
Exactly. Pre-chorus comes in. That's how it works. That's how you get the girl. So, just to recap, just to recap.
Mhm.
Step 1, acquire pneumonia by standing outside in the rain.
Okay. Yeah.
Step 2, get insulted and accept it.
Okay. Yeah, I do that.
Step 3, admit you're just a scared little boy.
I mean, it seems pretty easy.
That's how it works. That's how you get the girl. That's how you get this girl specifically in this song.
You know, I mean, she does say the girl and not a girl.
That's
So I
true.
feel
The
she's
girl.
being specific.
That's true. The chorus, which is a banger and it's catchy, and I'll give it that. Very
Mhm.
catchy. It leads into the chorus saying, and then you say, and the chorus is, in quotes, I want you for worse or for better. And that's actually my favorite lyric in the song because it's kind of like wedding vows and sickness and in health, but also the idea of someone wanting you for all that you are and not just the best parts is a very romantic idea.
Yeah.
I would wait forever and ever. She really wants him to simp.
She said,
Like,
I simped over you, and now it's your turn.
he said it's been a long 6 months, and she said
How long?
could be a year, could could be 18 months now. Just saying. Broke your heart. I'll put it back together. Sorry, I like visually winced on the screen
Because ew.
because ew. Um, I just don't love it. Like she should be the one responsible for repairing her heart, not this guy.
And also, like, him coming back doesn't fix the like it won't fix things. I think that also
Right.
like part of this fantasy is her thinking that if he came back, like everything would be fine again. And that's like part of the
Yes.
fantasy because it's not achievable.
Which is a very youthful perspective.
Yeah.
I think I was much more open to second chances when I was younger.
Yeah. I talk about that in my song too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because Taylor loves a second chance. She writes about it a lot. And this album is like second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Hmm.
Um, that's not my vibe.
No,
I,
same.
I feel like if the relationship ended, then it ended, you know?
Same.
That's not always true. Again, blanket statements I do not wish to make, but. And then she repeats because repetition is the key to remembering things.
Hmm.
I would wait forever and ever. Which makes me think that like the most important thing to her is that even if she didn't take him back, he would wait for her. Like that's the most important thing. And that I just don't love it.
I agree that it's toxic as hell, but also I feel like it turns into or it ties into is it over now? And like you search in every model's bed. So like she wants him to be celibate waiting for her and like not trying to get over her with other people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think she's like prove that you can go without sleeping with someone else because you want
Right.
me so bad and no one else.
Right. Like don't immediately jump in the arms of someone else.
Yeah.
And then she repeats, that's how it works. That's how you get the girl. That's it. That's all you got to do is just recite this monologue that I've written for you. So nice of
He's
me.
like, here are your lines. Do you want me back or what?
Exactly.
Once more with feeling.
Verse 2. Remind her how it used to be. Yeah, yeah. What's that quote that Kat always says about romanticizing the beginning of a relationship and meaning and then that meaning it's over? That quote that we talk about a lot that we'll never actually know the actual quote.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Of pictures and frames of kisses on cheeks, cheeks. She talks about pictures and frames a lot, but I think in general, like the idea of having a picture of a loved one, like you and a loved one, on display in your home is this very cozy, warm, domestic sort of thing. And then in a couple of songs, like Paper Rings, she mentions picture frames. This Love, I think she mentions picture frames somewhere. And Kissing My Cheek, she also mentions in This Love. And Kisses on Cheeks is also like, it's a non sexual form of intimacy. It's a very sweet, like, I care about you and enjoy being around you. And it's not, I'm not just in the pursuit of like
Yeah,
anything
you're
other
not
than
like
being
kissing someone's cheek as a seduction technique.
right, right. And you're not putting a framed picture of you guys somewhere to get you into bed. It's like,
Exactly. In
I,
fact, if we weren't there in a relationship and I walked into someone's house and there was a framed photo of me, it would actually be a mood killer.
I hope Taylor never walks into your apartment.
I'm not trying to sleep with her.
It's just so funny because there's like 3 framed photos of her behind you right now.
It's fine. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell her how you must have lost your mind. So again, she's like, the only reason that you would have left me is if you were crazy, like cuckoo bananas.
Yeah.
Just admit it.
Which, like, fair. Who could ever leave me, darling? Who could stay?
All you had to do. When you left her all alone and never told her why. So that's how we find out like what happened. He ghosted her.
Ugh.
Um,
And that's also like the standard, like a ghost moment.
exactly. And so that I do appreciate that full circle moment and the storytelling in this song in that way.
Hmm.
But
I'm
yeah,
sensing a butt.
it's just that sucks. Like who says he's not going to ghost her again?
Exact. I feel like to me, we were talking about this in our group chat like yesterday, but if you've met someone in person, ghosting is no longer like acceptable. Like if you've met in person like once, you can send a text and just be like, "Hey, I didn't vibe." But like if you've been seeing each other often enough for someone to write an entire album about you, like at least send a little texty text,
Right, exactly.
if not a phone call. I mean, we know Taylor doesn't like getting broken up with over phone calls,
Mhm.
as evidenced by.
As long as it's longer than 27 seconds or whatever.
It's true.
If you've been actually seeing someone, have the respect to tell them why you don't want to see them anymore because otherwise they're just going to think that they did something wrong. And maybe they did, but if they don't know what, then they can't grow from it.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
not
like,
that it's like your responsibility to make them grow, but like at least tell them because some people like literally just don't know that they're being inconsiderate or like being an asshole.
yeah. Yeah, it's just sort of not beneficial to either party. The pre-chorus happens again, except this time she says, "That's how it works. That's how you lost the girl." Woo! Like he ghosted her and she said, "Yeah, so I'm not giving you the time of day anymore unless hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. You do all the things I told you to do." And she
Mhm.
goes through the chorus again. There's a little bridge, it's very short. She says, "And you know that I don't want you to go," which is my second favorite line in this song because I think it shows her vulnerable side and how this is a very insecure song.
Mhm.
She's saying that, like, she wants him to say all of this because she wants to take him back.
Exactly. She wants him to say don't go. Like all
Yeah,
that she wants is a sign that this means as much to him as it does to her.
right, exactly. And I'm just imagining, like, if she were to just take him back without all of this, what is she going to tell her friends? They've already decided that they hate him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So he needs to take accountability first. She's like, "I just need you to do this and then I'll take you back." And you know that.
Yeah. And it's like that the song is such a bop that you kind of forget that the context is sad because she's like making this like joyous little like fantasy of like, oh, well, if he showed up and he did all of these specific things that I've never told him to do, but that he should know that I want, then things would actually be fine and dandy. So as long as he
Right.
just does these things, then everything's fine.
Exactly. And that's the song. She just sings the chorus a bunch and she's got some ad-libby moments and she's cute. Discussion question. What's your step-by-step tutorial for winning you back over when you're mad?
That's a good question. Leave me alone until I come to you. That's pretty much it. If I'm mad,
That's
I'm gonna walk away and I'm gonna cool off, and then you cannot come back to me while I'm still mad, or else I'm gonna get more annoyed.
and honestly, taking space when you're upset is a really healthy thing to do. I always say that sometimes if you have conversations when emotions are really heightened, it's not going to be a productive conversation.
Hmm.
But there's also like if you take a lot of time to cool off, you might lose part of the reason that you were angry in the first place. So there's a couple sides to it. But yeah, I
Yours just
think
is behind me playing with a toy at my back, so
it's true. She is doing that. How to win me back? Uh, chocolate?
I'm
I mean,
also a
it
sucker for
depends.
flowers.
Yeah, I personally don't love flowers because when they die, I cry about it. But I don't know. It depends on what I'm angry about. But I feel like just having some space to process and then being open to a conversation about it afterwards is pretty much always the way for
Yeah,
me. And that's that.
and that's that. We don't need a whole song to say it. It's just It's just let's work through it.
We need a lack of song. We need some space.
So, the other side of the door. This is track 6 on Fearless Platinum Edition and track 19 on Fearless Taylor's version. This song was solo written by Taylor and it was produced by Nathan Chapman on the Stolen version and Christopher Rowe on Taylor's version. The hidden message for this song is what I was really thinking when I slammed the door.
I love that.
I love that for her. This song, despite being on Fearless Platinum Edition, was not performed live until the Eras Tour. So the first time it was ever performed live was April 28th, 2023 in Atlanta, Georgia as the guitar surprise song. And then it was performed again on February 17th, 2024 in Melbourne, Australia on guitar, mashed up with August and Getaway Car, which, if you remember, this is the performance that people were like, oh my God, this means that Rep TV is coming on August 19th because she said August and then she had Getaway Car and then this is the 19th track.
Ha 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 ha
Ha
ha
ha ha.
ha ha
People love
ha.
to clown. I'm people. I thought it might be a thing, but then also it was like, yeah, so it wasn't true, but it was a nice theory. Also, the last time that this was performed on the Eras Tour was May 24th, 2024 in Lisbon, Portugal. And this was also on guitar, mashed up with Come Back, Be Here, and The Way I Loved You, which I think makes a lot of sense thematically. All of those songs fit together really, really well. In terms of personal connections, I don't really relate to the song. I don't think I ever have really felt like emotionally, don't look to the microphone. Um, I don't think I've ever felt like super emotionally connected to it, but I think that it's a bop and the outro of the song is one of my favorite like Taylor moments to sing because it's just so fun.
I want to listen to it now. I'll listen to it right after we're done recording.
So, we'll dive right in. Verse 1, in the heat of the fight, I walked away. Very mature. As stated, we both would like that to be the right thing to do when you're mad. Just give it a little space. And she's ignoring words that you were saying, trying to make me stay. So she's trying to walk away. She's trying to cool off, and he's trying to get her not to. And she's ignoring him as she should because set that boundary, queen, and stick to it. Because there's nothing more infuriating than being in a fight with someone and being like, I need to cool off and trying to walk away and them coming after you. That's like number one way to make me so much madder than I already was.
Oh, absolutely. That were interrupting me. I hate being interrupted.
Exactly. Like don't interrupt. Don't we're fighting. Don't make it worse by being annoying. I said this time I've had enough, and you've called 100 times, but I'm not picking up. Again, she's saying that she's through and she's ignoring him, but at the same time, she hasn't like blocked his phone number, even though he keeps calling her because as we'll see, what she wants is for him to keep making this effort to win her back because what she wants is for him to prove that he wants her back as much as he's saying he is by not giving up on her and like waiting for her.
Which is similar to my song.
Yeah, this is like the prequel to How You Get the Girl, the pre-chorus. Because I'm so mad, I might tell you that it's over. And like the tell you is very telling because she's not just saying like I'm so mad and now it's over. It's like it's so mad I'm going to tell you that it's over. But if you look a little closer because like she just wants him to know her well enough to know that she doesn't actually want him to leave and also to know that her being like I hate you that she's not serious. Like what she wants is to be known, which I feel like is very similar to How to Get the Girl. Is like I want you to read my mind and know exactly what I want and exactly what I'm thinking, even though that's not what I'm saying. So do it.
There's the I never learned to read your mind from
Very true.
Exile, right?
That's Exile.
Yeah.
I said leave, but all I really want is you to stand outside my window, throwing pebbles, screaming, I'm in love with you. This song is so 18 years old coded. Because this is the kind of thing that when you're like 18 and all that you really know about relationships is what you've seen in TV shows and movies and like maybe your friends dating, and it's all very like dramatic and passionate and like tying into the idea of The Way I Loved You, that song being like, I miss screaming and fighting and kissing in the rain, and like you miss these big dramatic moments because real, like genuine love is a lot quieter and less intense. And like when you're 18, you're thinking like, I want this big dramatic relationship where like we get in fights and then he stands outside my window and throws pebbles and says, I'm in love with you. And like, don't do that. No pebbles. We've talked about this
No,
before. Don't
don't
throw
break your
anything at my
window.
windows.
No,
Unless
except
like something big.
marshmallows.
Oh, right.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows. But also then like all the birds are gonna come and eat the marshmallows.
Maybe. I bring up marshmallows because that's also what I think I brought it up in seven, where I said one time I tried to live in a tree outside my
Hmm.
house and I brought a bag of marshmallows.
That's,
It
that would
was so
be
that
acceptable.
if I wanted to throw them at someone's window later, I could, and also have a snack.
You were planning ahead. You could bounce them off the
Multi-purpose.
window and catch them in your mouth, and then you look cool, you get a snack, and you get the girl.
That's okay. You're on to something.
I'm on to something. I'm changing my answer to your discussion question. You have to do a trick shot, eat the marshmallow that bounces off the window, and then I'll get back with you.
Trick shots are the way to the girl's heart, okay?
And we all know this.
Tricks and a lack of property damage. Nothing sexier than a lack of property damage.
Nothing sexier than respecting my home. Okay, so he's outside the window throwing pebbles, screaming, disturbing all of the neighbors. I'm in love with you. Wait there in the pouring rain, come back for more. So just like how you get the girl, we know Taylor loves a romanticized rain moment. Like she wants dedication. She wants him to stand there like a ghost shaking from the rain. She wants him out there, rain, shine. Of all the other girls, what's Hey Steven? Like of all the other girls tossing rocks at your window, I'll be there even when it's cold. Like she wants someone who wants her as much as she wants them. And don't you leave because I know all I need is on the other side of the door. And like she's literally kicking him out. And she's like, leave. And then she's like, actually don't. But like actually stay because I want you to fight for me. Like I want you I'm picking this fight because the passion is gone and I want the passion. And I want the passion back that we used to have. It's very, like I already said, the way I loved you coded.
And
And like,
also mine,
yeah,
when she talks about how like they have a fight and she's like, it's over, but then he stays.
yeah.
And that's how she knows it's
Where he says,
real.
I'll never leave you alone.
Right.
And now, verse two, me and my stupid pride are sitting here alone. She knows that whatever their fight was about wasn't that important, but she doesn't want to be the one to apologize. Going through the photographs and staring at the phone, she's just sitting there going through pictures of them and thinking about how in love they used to be and hoping that telepathically they'll somehow know that she's thinking about him and like if he realizes it then like maybe he'll come and throw pebbles or marshmallows or whatever at her window, do a sick trick shot.
I also think it's funny, just like in terms of technology, back when this song was written, I don't think everyone had a smartphone.
That's
But now,
true.
like looking through pictures and staring at your phone was probably the same thing. And back when the song was written, I think it was two separate
I
activities.
like to imagine that she was scrolling through a Facebook album of like their pictures together and then also like looking at her landline. I imagine it was the phone that I had. My landline line loin. My landline was from Justice Just for Girls and it was a white fuzzy and it had little pretty actually sizable little rhinestones all over it. It was
I
very iconic.
I wanted it bad. You know what else it could be is the hamburger phone from Juno.
Oh, of course.
So she's staring at that phone. She's like, "Man, actually, I'm kind of hungry. Maybe I want
Exactly.
that instead of
Like
this
maybe I'm
guy."
not mad at him. Maybe I just need to eat a burger. We've all been there.
It's like that John Mulaney quote of "Do all my friends hate me, or do I just need to go to sleep?"
Hmm.
Do I really want to take this guy back, or do I just need to eat a hamburger
Exactly.
or a black bean burger if you're vegetarian?
That's me. So she's staring at the phone. I keep going back over the things we both said. And I think this is really interesting because a lot of times in her songs, she places like all the blame on the other person or all the blame on herself. And here she's like, the things we both said. Like we both said things that we didn't mean. And we both were just like in the heat of the fight, like saying stuff just to rile the other one up. And like that idea of just like knowing that you said stuff that you regret and knowing that they probably regretted some of the stuff that they said or like you hope that they regret it. And I remember the slamming door. Don't slam doors during an argument. That's toxic as hell.
That's more property damage.
Exactly. And all the things that I misread. She doesn't know how to communicate, and neither does he. So they're both misreading what the other person is saying because they don't know how to properly communicate their feelings. And later they'll be like, oh, this thing that he said. And then she's like, oh, I might have misread that. Might have misread that a little bit. And then the pre chorus this time changes a little bit. So, baby, if you know everything, tell me why you couldn't see. I love that she's just like, oh, you think you know everything? Well, you don't know me. And that upsets me because you say that you love me. So, what about that? Like, I love the sarcasm of this line too. I feel like she had a lot of like sassy moments on Fearless, and I feel like this is one of them for sure. So, you know everything. Tell me why you couldn't see that when I left. I wanted you to chase after me. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I we already touched on this with your song, but like I don't understand the appeal of this like relationship dynamic of like kicking someone out and then wanting them to come back, or like being kicked out and wanting to come. Like I just don't. If somebody tells me leave, I'm like, okay, bye. I will go. I am taking you at your word. I hate when people say something and then expect you to know that it doesn't mean that. Yeah.
But it's a form of self-sabotage, but it's also like this unconscious way of trying to test your partner. Some people try to test their partner on purpose, but some people like cause arguments and kick people out because on the inside they want them to stay. They want them for worse or for better. Like
Hmm.
they want this person to see the ugly things and still want to stick around, and that's where the desire comes from. I'm not saying it's like the healthiest way to handle things, but typically that's the reason that it happens.
That makes sense. I still hate it.
Honesty is the best policy, but honesty is hard.
It's true. Sorry, there's people being really loud in my hallway. It's probably just fucking kids again.
The cheese porch kids?
The fucking cheese porch kids.
Ugh. We didn't tell the pod about the
Oh
cheese
my
porch
God, let me tell you
kids.
about the fucking cheese porch kids. So last week, it's Friday. I'm sitting on my couch working because I work from home, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just hear these like kids being super loud in the hallway, just like talk, yelling to each other. And then later they left, and they left like trash all over the hallways and also outside. So they left 2 slices of Swiss cheese on the front steps of my apartment building, which is annoying because I have a dog who obviously wants the floor cheese, but she's not allowed the floor cheese if we're outside.
It was sad all around. And
It
then
was sad
I
all
was,
around, and then I complained to the leasing office, and they were like, "You are not the only one who complained." So,
well, what was funny to me was that you had texted me because I was on my way over to record, and you said, watch out for the slices of Swiss cheese that these kids left on my porch. And
they just love fucking cheese.
I don't know what I was expecting, but I pull up and I was like, those are in fact just slices of Swiss cheese on the porch.
Yeah, like literally, and there's a dumpster like not far away. It was just really rude. They were being really rude, and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Anyways,
unacceptable behavior, but the idea of having porch cheese does make me laugh in
orange
hindsight.
cheese is funny. Do you think throwing cheese at a window, because then it would stick to the window? Okay, I amend my answer, not
Okay.
marshmallows, no more trick shots. It's not good enough. What I want you to do is use cheese to spell out a message.
Yes, or you could write on the cheese and then
Yes.
it sticks to the window so you see it. Or third, even cooler option, this one involves planning. Do
Okay.
you remember those TikToks that was like the cheese of truth? And then
Yes.
they put the Swiss cheese on something and it revealed a message.
Yes.
So he already had to have something there, right? He throws the cheese up and then he's like, check the book or like, check the newspaper. And it's the cheese of truth. And then it says, take me back. I love you.
Incredible. If someone did that, I'd have to give them a second chance. If they cheese of truth through the window, that'd be impressive.
That is impressive. For me,
And
it's still the
speaking
trick
of,
shot marshmallow.
you know, fair enough. Speaking of windows, the bridge. And I scream out the window. I can't even look at you. I wonder if this is him like showing up at the window like she wanted, but she's still playing hard to get and still doing the like, I can't even look at you. Or if it's like after she kicked him out and he's like looking through the window next to the door, being like, let me back in. She's like, I can't even look at you. I'm just gonna scream
Or
at you out of the window.
he's thrown so many pieces of cheese at the window that she literally can't
I
look at
can't
him.
even look at you.
You Swiss cheese too close to the sun.
There's this the Swiss cheese does not have enough holes in it for me to see out of the window anymore. I don't need you, but I do. I do. I do. Do you though, Taylor? Do you need him? I say there's nothing you can say to make this right again. If someone said this to me, there'd be no pebbles, there'd be no marshmallows, no Swiss cheese. There'd be a tub of ice cream, midsummer, and me on my couch with Spear crying. Like it's over. If you say there is nothing I can say to make this right,
Then like,
okay.
okay.
But also, I think it's kind of like there's nothing he can say to make things right. It's he has to show that he's sorry by like some grand gesture of love and declaration of his undying passion or whatever. So there's nothing you can say to make this right again. I mean it. I mean it. What I mean is, and then she goes into the chorus. So, and I think it's also interesting the way that she sings this is like, and I mean it. I mean it. Well, what I mean is, and like she starts very confident, and then she goes to this more like, well, I don't mean it. I just said it because I was mad. What I really mean is, and then she goes in the chorus and she starts the chorus like lower. And it's almost like the gravity of the situation is weighing on her so heavily that it even is dragging the melody down because she's just like, I'm making this mistake. I'm telling him to leave and I'm saying all this stuff that if he takes me at face value, he's just gonna actually leave. And that's not really what I want. What I mean is I want you to try to win me back. So then we get to
That
the
was
outro. Here we go. Here we fucking go. I think that this outro is like the moment that they make up and they're talking about like what went wrong and they're making up and they're happy again. Cause she's like, so he shows up, he's on the other side of the door with your face and your beautiful eyes. I can't say anything to your face because look at your face. You're gorgeous. I'm seeing a lot this episode. That's just where I'm at emotionally. And the conversation with the little white lies, it makes me wonder if the little white lies are the things that she said at the bridge of saying, like, I don't want you back. This is it. Like, there's nothing you can do to fix this. Or if the little white lies are like what caused their fight in the first place. Because it really could go either way. Because she doesn't say what conversation. She says the conversation with the little white lies. That could be a lot of conversations.
it could. Also, she mashed this up with Getaway Car, right? With the ties were black, the lies were white.
Oh, she did. The conversation with little white lies. It was actually about stealing. In the faded picture of a beautiful night, he showed up with a picture in a frame of a kiss on a cheek or equivalent. So, like, really, he's just doing the blueprint for how you get the girl. You carried me from your car up the stairs, getting in a workout and a romantic gesture, two for one, multitasking king.
I really like that line because it paints such a picture in such few words.
It really, like, in the way that she sings it is so intense. It's like, you carried me from your car up the stairs. Like, it hits.
You have to really care about someone to do that.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it takes
that's
a
even when
lot of
she was skinny, but like, still, that's a
it
person.
takes a lot of trust to be vulnerable enough to let someone carry you up the stairs, you know? Like
That's
that
true.
takes an intimate relationship and it also takes a lot to be like I'm going to carry this person up the stairs.
And also saying like you carried me from your car to or yeah, from your car up the stairs. Like it's not like the easiest way to carry someone is like a piggyback ride, but that's not the vibe that this is giving like bridal style, like he picked her up and like carried her up the stairs. A lot
Yeah.
of effort, a lot of strength required. And I broke down crying. Was she worth this mess? He does this big romantic gesture of showing up and carrying her from her car up the stairs, and then she just immediately starts crying and like, was she worth this mess? And we don't know what the she of it is. Like, did he actually cheat on her? Is there just a girl that she's like kind of insecure about that's like a friend of his? Or like we don't know the story, but we just know that she is the cause of this mess. And Taylor's questioning, was it really worth it? Was it? Um,
I love when songs have things like that where like we don't actually know anything. We don't know the context like you
mhm.
said. And I feel like Taylor is usually very specific with her storytelling, where she's like, this is what happened. And this is like a detail that feels very real, but you can add like pretty much any meaning to it.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, it makes it very easy to like apply it to your own life if you were in an on again, off again relationship. After everything in that little black dress, the way that she sings it is like a little slinky. I do wonder like what the lore is behind the little black dress. We don't know what it is. We'll never find out, but um it makes me think of Tim McGraw, and like in that song she talks about like dancing under the moon. I think she also was wearing a little black dress in that song.
Well,
You
the
think
concept,
happiness. I hope you think that little black dress. So,
I mean, the term little black dress is like, that's a popular term. Like,
yeah,
that's a really cute, potentially sexy thing that a woman can wear.
especially in the like almost 2010s when this came out, like every magazine was like, you have to have your perfect little black dress. Like that was a staple of everybody's wardrobe. And after everything, I must confess, I need you. So like finally, this entire song, she's dancing around stuff, she's contradicting herself, and then she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna say that I need you. Like that's the end of the song, is her finally saying what she's actually thinking and feeling to him. That like, was she worth this mess? No, like, but I need you. So like we can't just break up because I need you. Super healthy again. But like it's also interesting how it's not love, it's just need. Like she never says anything about love. Like the word love is not, oh, I guess she does say it in the chorus. Like she wants him to say that he's in love with her, but she never says I love you to him, which is kind of a slay power dynamic moment for her.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because she wants him to say, to stand outside her window screaming, I'm in love with you, but she says, I need you, but does she love him? Probably, but maybe she just wants him to love her. Discussion question. What's a time where you didn't say what you actually wanted and then it ended up like not going as planned because you didn't say what you wanted? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of examples of this just in general.
That miscommunication trope, though.
I feel like I can't remember any examples, even though I know that it's happened.
It's weird because now as an adult, I'm actually very good at communicating my wants and needs,
Same.
which we love to see. I know that that was not always the case. I was a mess. I was a mess in college. I mean, like everyone else in college, you're figuring stuff out. You're figuring out how to even identify what your wants and needs are. Sometimes you don't know.
Mhm.
So I don't have a specific example, but like, that's happened a lot. Come on.
I'm thinking of this one girl that I went on a couple dates with, and then we stopped seeing each other, and then like ended up like hooking up, and then afterwards she was like, "Let's just be friends," and I was like, "Yeah, let's just be friends. That's totally fine." And then I had romantic feelings for her, obviously, and did not just want to be friends the entire time. So I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." I'm saying, and then it, never turned into a relationship because she said, "I don't want a relationship." And sometimes people say things and they mean them. Taylor did not prepare me for that.
I think that the idea of like, again, when you tell someone, I'm kicking you out and expecting them to come back, whereas a lot of people will just take that as fact, you know? So
Yeah.
like people will listen to and believe what you tell them. So if you're not telling them the truth, then how are they supposed to give you what you want?
Exactly.
But it's hard. I'm not saying it's not hard to do for anyone out there who struggles with this.
Mhm.
But it gets easier as time
It
goes on.
does. It does. Because eventually you realize, like, oh, if I never tell anybody what I want, then nobody's going to know what I want. And then I'm just going to be disappointed all the time, which is what happened. And then I was just like, I'm just going to try out saying what I want. And then actually it works great and very rarely has bad results.
Because if you're being authentic, then either you get what you want and what you need, or you don't and you move on.
Exactly. You don't have to wonder if, oh, if I had said it more directly, would it have worked out? Because you said it directly and it didn't, or it did. In which case, love or hate that for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it for the other side of the door.
Okay, we got through it. So, Kat's birthday is this month, which means that next week we actually have off. Okay, maybe Kat should explain this because I'm
So
sick.
next week we're gonna take a break. That's our like tradition for our birthdays, is the week before we have off. And then for our birthdays, we cover an album that's not by Taylor Swift. So we're gonna be doing an album that we've talked about a whole bunch of times on this podcast and somebody that we're very obsessed with. And I won't give more hints because I don't want to, and it's my birthday episode, so I can do what I want. But that's gonna be our next episode, and I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be a really fun one.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. And to create, as is tradition, to make the little new theme song for it.
I love Abby's little surprise theme songs. They're like my favorite part of the birthday episodes.
So other than that, I feel like that's all you guys need to know. We do have a guest form available now to fill out if you want to be a guest on the pod. We're going to try to do that once a month. We will keep you guys posted about the live stream for the March Madness. We want to say thank you to our Swiftest tier patrons, Bethany, M, September, Ashley, Liam, and Chelsea. You guys rock. We love you so much. And then if you want to follow us on Instagram at Swiftlore Pod,
And on TikTok at Swiftlore Pod.
we've got clips and things there. You can DM us. You can look at our polls and other things on our story. Yeah.
And that's oh, we can't crispy high five. Should we both like
I
clap at the
know.
same time? You're holding a mic though. I'll
I
clap
am.
and we'll pretend like it's a high five. All right. 1, 2, 3.
I couldn't hear it, but I could see it.
So, you know,
We
did Zoom really
crispy
take out the
high-fived.
audio of the clap?
It it did. Zoom is like has a heavy filter.
Honestly, it's kind of nice because then when Spear is annoying when I'm in meetings, it gets filtered out. But
And it hasn't heard a lot of my like stomach grumbling and my
that's
whatever.
you know, fair.
So thank you, Zoom.
All right. Well, Swiftlorians or whatever y'all are called. I don't think we have enough fans to have a fan,
No,
but
my brother, James, the good one, the brother, specifically calls you guys Swift Lords.
that's amazing. Incredible.
Shout out to him. Maybe we should have him on the pod one day.
Here's a man who tolerates Taylor Swift.
I think it might be funny to have someone on who like does not care.
That's true. It could be kind of funny.
Be like, what do you think? If you don't like it, you're not my brother anymore. I'm kidding. Love you, James.
Only James' brother, not James derogatory.
Exactly. All right. Well, we love you guys so much, and we won't see you next week, but we'll see you the week after that. And if you want to talk to us beforehand, you know all the ways to do so.
Okay, bye.
Bye.